Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have so many planets conjunct. Shouldn't their synastry be good? Not necessarily, and here's why. First of all, their moons square each other. She has moon in Libra at 7 degrees, and he has moon in Capricorn at 13 degrees. And I don't know her exact time of birth, so I don't know her rising sign. So I can't tell you how this is going to affect her chart. I can only really tell you how she affects his chart based on the houses, which are the areas of life that are impacted from them being together, their connection. So like moon squaring moon is just like a bunch of emotional turmoil. And for Johnny, this square happens between his 3rd house and his 6th house, his communication and his work. The 6th house also rules routine, health, and your well-being. So literally like this relationship and the emotional tumultuousness of it has really impacted and taken a toll on his physical health and well-being, and as well as his work life. What's also really funny is that they got divorced during Amber's Saturn return. Like literally on the day of her Saturn return, when Saturn was at 9 degrees, she has Saturn at 8 degrees. That was the day their divorce finalized. You can't make this stuff up. And speaking of Amber's Saturn, it squares Johnny Depp's Pluto in his 2nd house. And her Saturn sits in his 5th house of romance. The 2nd house rules money. So like there's friction, challenges between his romance and money in their relationship. Like none of their chart or their synastry looks good. Like none of it. The fact that Jupiter is on his Chiron, like lots of healing for him happens through this relationship in his 8th house of shared resources, debt, taxes, other people's money, as well as intimacy and vulnerability. And that is opposing his 2nd house and his Pluto in Virgo, which also trines her Mars. So like there's just like a lot of intensity here, and her Mars is on his moon in Capricorn. Like there's just a lot of emotional intensity, transformation, turmoil, just kind of like death and rebirth cycles, like a lot of darkness that comes up from them being together, which could also look like a lot of healing. I mean, she does have her sun on his midheaven, so there could be a harmonious connection for him in terms of his career and her kind of exuding or accelerating what he's meant to embody in his career. But also he's Johnny Depp. He doesn't really need that. And another thing that popped out at me is that his Saturn, Johnny Depp's Saturn, squares her Venus, which a square is a challenging, tough aspect. It creates problems, tension, etc. And that's in his house of relationships and career. So there's like problems because of this relationship in his career. Like so much of the synastry chart just screams no to me. What are your thoughts?